Hi, I just have one question.
Oh, yeah, sorry, who are you? Which?
Sorry? We're with Rebel News.
Sorry, we don't talk to Rebel News. We don't talk to Rebel News. We don't talk to Rebel News.
What the f***? What the f*** is this world? What have they done to them? What did they do to?
Why don't you speak to Rebel News? You know, Rebel News viewership is on the rise right now. CBC viewership is downhill, so it kind of seems like Canadians seem to care a lot more about Rebel News coverage and seeking accountability from politicians. Why won't you speak to us?
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you.
Welcome to the shit show every single day.
It doesn't seem like the Liberal government's doing a pretty good job right now. Cost of living's on the rise. You yourself admitted to foreign interference. So why do you continue to support them?
Take care.
Is your pension more important than the lives of Canadians? Your pension that you'll be receiving next year, $1.2 million? Nope.
This is unconstitutional. In the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it guarantees freedom of the press under Section 2B.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Section 2B of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is at stake. It reads freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression. Freedom of the press and other media of communication. Section 2B of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees us all the liberty to express ourselves without reserve and without coercion from the state.
So, in other words, our elected officials voted in by us won't answer to our news. I mean,
Come on. Really?
you heard Jack Mead say it himself. They literally pick and choose. Oh, you're from this media agency? Yeah. We don't talk to you. We only talk to the hand-picked ones that are going to make us look all good and rosy on their news platforms.
I vote for the motion.
Mr. Trudeau, for poor.
You guys are probably going to shred us to pieces, the way it's supposed to be done. We're not going to even talk to you guys. This is just classic leftism. Classic. This is what I always say. Whenever you debate with a left person who doesn't agree with you, most oftentimes, they're just not going to talk to you at all. They're going to put their hand right in your face and say, oh, I'm not even talking to you. This is exactly what we're seeing, but on a public elected official level, that's insane. And to stick it right to him, the fact that Rebel News is growing in viewership while the CBC viewership is going in the dumps, this is even funnier. The CBC is dying. In the fiscal year of 2021 to 2022, the Canadian government funded the CBC $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion in government funding. That's insane. How can you have a government funding a news agency? What do you think that news agency is going to do? Report the truth, the full truth, nothing but the truth? Criticize the government? Of course not. And that's the job of the press, is to push buttons, push boundaries, try and get some answers.
You can't handle the truth.
But if you're funding them, how can you bite the hand that feeds? You can't. There's no way the CBC is going to do honest reporting and report the truth if it looks bad on the Liberal government. That's insane.
Oh, there's a suggestion. We could save $1 billion by defunding the CBC. I don't think they came today. They don't come. Why'd they stop coming to my rallies? I'm going to start taking it personally, I think. Well, somebody's paying them with your money, that's for sure.
News agencies should be able to live and survive on their own. They need to sell viewership, online subscriptions, whatever a news agency's got to do, they got to do it on their own. Capitalism. You can't have a government funding a news agency. That's insane. So how are we losing our freedom of speech rights in Canada? Well, now we have hate speech laws in the criminal code to stop people from saying certain things. Critics argue that these laws can be used to suppress controversial or unpopular opinions, potentially sacrificing free speech. The Criminal Code of Canada prohibits the promotion of hatred against any identifiable group. That is a very open-ended statement and an open-ended law. What is considered hate speech? Is it me saying you're a fucking idiot? Is it me saying you don't know anything? It could be me saying anything. Who determines what specifically is hate speech? This is way too open-ended and way too vague. I might not like what you think, the policies you believe in, what you say against me, certainly what people fucking say in the YouTube comments, but I will defend your right to say it all the way. I defend your right to tell me right now in the comments, I don't know what you're talking about, you're a fucking idiot, you're a loser. Go ahead, dude. Freedom of speech. Fantastic. That's the way it should be. And honestly, that's kind of the difference I see between more conservative people versus more liberal people. A lot of conservative people believe in that. Liberals say they believe in free speech as well, only if you say things that they align with. You must be in support of pride parades. You must be in support of gender neutral bathrooms. You must be in support of blah, 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 blah. And as a millennial conservative, I think a lot of us believe in those things. If you want to believe in it, that's cool. If someone or me wanted to say, I don't agree with that, that's stupid, you should be able to say it. Because here's the thing, it's called precedent. This is what most people don't understand. What Canada just did was set a precedent. You can't limit free speech because it's so open-ended. So the only justifiable thing to do is not limit it at all. Second, the government starts limiting what words, what sentences, what you can and cannot say, it's just going to keep going and going and going. The old saying, if you give the government an inch, they're going to take a mile. You know, today, let's say if they put a law in Canada that says you can't say the N-word, it's illegal. If you say it, you're going to go to jail. A lot of us are going to be like, yeah, dude, sure. You shouldn't be saying the N-word. It's not cool. Okay, cool. But what about 10 years down the road when they say, you know what? We don't like you saying that word, and we also don't like you saying the word leftist. We also don't like you saying the word this or that or this. And it just snowballs and snowballs. And by the time we get to 2050, let's say, you can't say a bunch of things or else you'll go to fucking jail. That's too crazy. And that's why free speech is supposed to be free speech all the way. I might not like what you say, but I'll defend your right to say it all the way because we need pushback. That's how society progresses. It's how we can debate. It's how we can say, oh, that's gross, that's wrong. You shouldn't really say that. Oh, but what he's saying is right. You know, it might not be cool to say it like during COVID times. And what this really does is just create a society of wussies walking on eggshells, which is the epitome of Canadians. I mean, God bless Canada. I love Canada. I love being Canadian. And one of the reasons why I love Canada is that we're a very humble culture. You know, we don't like to piss people off. We don't like to step on too many toes. You know, we think what we think in our own homes, in our own heads. But, you know, on the street, I'll be nice to you, like whatever, right? That's just how Canada is. But at the same time, that creates a society of pussies. And I can tell you right now that being a Canadian real estate investor, I would say I'm on the edge of being a Canadian and someone in the U.S. But now that we're doing our business in the U.S., I live in the U.S. for like half the year during the winter times. It's so different. And the more we live there and the more we do business there, dude, it's so different. If you're a nice Canadian and you're trying to do business and get on through the property ladder, trying to get through the world, and you're a soft Canadian, they're going to fucking eat you alive. Hey, that's the reason why Americans are Americans. That's why the U.S. is the superpower. You know, the old joke that Americans think they're the fucking greatest thing on earth. God bless America, patriots, guns. Say what you will about that kind of attitude, but hey, they're fucking winning and we're not. Now, the other thing that kind of limits free speech in Canada is the media concentration and the media monopoly. There's really only 3 top companies, top broadcasters in Canada: Rogers, Bell, and Chorus Entertainment. It's like there's only like 2 or 3 companies that do everything. And let's be real: Bell, Rogers, Chorus Entertainment, left, and left. I mean, come on. You know, we don't really have a conservative outlet like America does with Fox News or the Daily Wire. You know, PBD podcast, right in the middle, kind of, but you know, more conservative. There's a lot of mainstream conservative right-leaning outlets in the U.S., and there's a lot of left in the U.S. It's great. It's a political discourse. You can pick and choose. You can debate. You can fight each other verbally. You know, you can debate with each other. That's fantastic. In Canada, there's no debating. You can't debate with anybody, dude. Everybody thinks if they're a left person, you're on the right, you're a moron, and vice versa. Nobody talks anymore. And we all just walk around like weird, quiet zombies. It's strange. And not to mention the regulations put in place like Bill C-10 pretty much pushes away any chance of us getting a Fox News, a Daily Wire, whatever, a news agency, because they have to pay their fair share. It's insane. Like the reason why we can't see Google News or news outlets on Instagram, because Google refused and Facebook refused to play the bullshit. So that's why you can't see news from pretty much anywhere on your Instagram. The only news you can really get is the CBC at 5 p.m. when you turn on your TV and get brainwashed. It's smart, dude. I tip my hat to Trudeau. Smart business, dude. I mean, how do you stay in power? How do you cultivate a bigger following? You just cut off any other news outlet. It's disgusting, but it's genius. And one step farther, Bill C-36. This amended the Criminal Code of Canada. It's a criminal law to give hate speech, to do hate speech, to, I don't know, dare I say, go as far as misgendering someone, you know, anything like that, that's considered hate speech. Again, what is hate speech? Holy shit. So look, guys, I don't know what the answer is here. The only answer I have, and you're probably not going to like it being a Canadian viewer, and this is why I'm building my business in the US and we're building our real estate business. We live down there already for most of the winter. Dude, I'm getting the hell out of here, dude. I'm getting out of here, dude. That's it. That's the main reason why I'm building the business in the US. We're applying for our visa in literally a couple of months. So we have the option of living there full time and getting the fuck out of here. You think I'm paying 54% fucking taxes? That's one thing. Now you got this bullshit? You think I want my kid growing up in this bullshit? It's fucking insane. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? I'm outie.